Good afternoon, everyone. That is Jerry Rojas. That's the mayor of Mercia. He's originally from Bacolod City. So that's the mayor. Looks like he's running again this term. That's the mighty volcano. So that's the mighty volcano, the Canlaon volcano. We're here in Concilian. Right guys, going to have a walk. I'm a bit bored. Very humid today, and like I said, one of the big problems here in the Philippines on this island, just too hot. Half of the time you can't go out unless you're very up early in the morning. Then you go out now, and that's when people normally go out to do the work when before the sun comes up or when the sun goes down. And that's one of the big problems here. Now, I chatted about snakes, and this is where they are. That's where they are. That's where the snakes are there, all the way on here. Now, I've got 3-4 videos in front of this. Now, the snakes here, right, as I said, I'll actually show you. There's poisonous snakes here, and somebody said to Jollibee, one of the neighbours, tell Paul to keep out of this wood. Hey. Hello. Hello. Right. Start again, because the girls, the boys, the show-offs, like I said every time they see me, it's okay if they're okay, but when they start to shout and bawl, there's always one that starts to come out with some words. So, you know, I just turn the camera off. So this is where the snakes are. And I think where I want, tell Paul to actually keep out of here at night or keep off the field. I know the snakes, I said it, that's why I come in here. So there's supposed to be a big snake or a poisonous snake here. I know they're here, because I've seen them. And there's supposed to be an hole. I'll reverse the camera and I'll try and look for this hole. There's supposed to be an hole somewhere in here, right? Where pigsty is. And I don't know if it's a python and I always look in here for snakes because it's a good place for a snake, but a snake doesn't like to be cornered. So supposed to be an hole somewhere in here where the snakes are. And I look in here all the time. You know, they can easily get in there, but snakes are not in there because I've not seen them. Now, I'm not going to repeat video, but just for a recap, this is the pipe where they found the snake. This is where the farmer run away. He saw the snake and it was a really big snake. And he actually run away because it was that big. And there's a dead one here somewhere in one of the holes. Oi! Just look at want to play. So she wants to play. Oh, she wants to play with that baby carabao. See, my dogs play with it. They'll play with a carabao, look. She wants to, that little carabao. She won't attack that carabao. You know, she won't attack it or hurt it. Where a lot of the other dogs will attack that little carabao and they will hurt it. But my dogs are playful, look. And they don't hurt people. See, Mama's not very happy. She's here, look. She's going for a run around. I don't know where the other one is. So she wants to play. Mama Carabao doesn't know that. Because I've seen some dogs pull these little carabaos down. And I've shouted. And guys come out and got dogs off. I thought, why are they attacking carabao? You know, they live here, they shouldn't be attacking carabao. So this is where snake is. That's where they go. That's where they go. So there's supposed to be pythons in there. I know there's an hole in here. And I know there's poisonous snakes in here. I know they're there. And I know that's where they are in there. Except for when it throws it down with rain, then they're not in there. So I don't care if there's poisonous snakes here, right? I've met enough snakes in my time. Work that bugger out, right? So I've met enough of this. You know, I don't mind snakes what crawl you know, and I've met quite a... What are you doing? Look at these two nutcases. She only come belting straight into my leg. You know, they are two nuts. Right, anyway, met enough snakes in my time, I think I were on about, and they do crawl very, very low to the floor, some of you guys. Right, oh, I'll just chat this comment. And this is just for you guys that want to make a comment, but you dare not make a comment for fear of someone, you know, pestering and saying bad things to you. So if there's anyone that actually gets on to any of you guys that watch my videos, let me know. I'll block them, right? I'll just block them. I won't delete the comment, I'll block them, right? So if there's some fool on there, you know, some sad little guy, girl, whatever you are, that like to make your comments, and then you think you can go on to quite a nice person that's making a good comment, and you think you can bother them, you can't, because I'll just block you, and then I'll go to the next step after blocking you, right? So there's another comment exactly what I want to make. Another comment, very good comment. So this guy made a comment, very good comment, thanks for the comment. His dad actually was here in the Philippines in the COVID, and what happened was he got stuck here in the COVID, basically similar, so he's basically going through a similar process like I am now. He's stuck here, you know, as far as I gather, he couldn't pay his fine, his passport run out, maybe not run out, but that's what I think, you know, exactly same situation as me. She's not looking very happy, right? So exactly same situation as me. Now, great comment. So you know now what's going to really happen if you read the comment. You know, he actually got back to England, and what he did is got a loan off the British Embassy, and I think they took his passport off him till he actually paid the fine, right? Or he paid what he owed to go back to UK England. So that's what's really going to happen. And there ain't going to be any millionaires out there that's going to send all this money and help me. Listen, I'm realistic. You know, you really do. I ought to really stop. So, like I said, I will start to block you now, and then I'll go on further. And so just try me. Right. And if you don't think you can be... Oh, I'm a bit close to this carabau's rope. She can get to me quite easy there, look. See? Should be okay. Right, so... Another incident. We're in Bacolod City. We're here in Concilian, and we used to go out every day. We used to go out early in the morning, go to a restaurant, and this here day we're about 3:30, and no, it wasn't actually, we're about 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I said, let's go to Jollibee's into Bacolod SM. And Jovelyn says, oh, let's go to that Jollibee's where the road is. So what we did is we went through Concilian, all the way through Concilian, and we went onto the main road that goes to Bacolod City. And what we did then is I managed to turn. We're knocking on about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock by the time we actually got there. And I turned the bike round and managed to get across road. Really dangerous, like I said, traffic here on roads. And I got my bike and I parked my bike, you know, it's where I parked my bike. See there, upside. I parked my bike in a really good spot and I moved my bike over, and there were plenty of parking space at this side. Anyway, for some reason, we ordered something, and I thought, well, I don't like this place. I just didn't like this place. Jollibee's on main road. I thought, I just don't like it. It's not a nice place here. It's on a main busy road, and it's just not a nice place, and it didn't feel very good. So, parked my bike there, sat down, got something ordered. So we ordered something, and I thought, where's my bike? My bike's a brand new bike, so I'm watching my bike all the time. Yeah, your bikes do get stolen here, so I don't think they don't, they do. And my bike now, we've got dogs, and you can't enter with these dogs, they will attack you. You walk past, they'll bark. If you enter the garden, they'll attack you. Right, so they're barking away, they will bark, and they'll attack. So I thought, where's my bike gone? And I jumped up, excuse me, I jumped up and I walked outside and my bike's gone. And where I'd parked it, security woman, when I was parking my bike, I heard her going, yes, come on, sir, oh, yes, sir. And I thought, yes, sir, no, but 3 bags full, sir. And she said this and say that to this guy that's pulling up in an old Land Cruiser. So this guy pulls up in an old Land Cruiser, and I went back out, and she'd moved my bike, so there was no reason to move bike whatsoever. And I think she moved it for brownie points, right, with this guy. And he moved his vehicle, he just parked his vehicle as normal, and I said, why have you moved my bike? And she went, oh, summit. And I think there was a tricycle there as well now, in front of my bike. She moved my bike back where the road was. Not exactly on the road, further down towards the road. I said, why have you moved my bike? I said, there's no reason to move that bike. I parked that bike perfectly straight, and I parked it out of the way. There was no reason to move it. And like I said, I think she moved it for brownie points. Because I heard her go, oh, yes, sir, this, yes, sir, that. And I got my bike, and I moved my bike where I could see it next to the window. And Jovelyn came out, and she said to the security officer, he don't like nobody touching his bike. And that's what I was saying, why have you moved it? I said to the security officer, do not move my bike. Don't touch it. There's no reason for you to touch that bike. And Jovelyn then came out, she went, he don't like no one touching his bike. You know, we're sorry, sir. I said, I'm not sorry, don't touch bike. And it went into that. And then we went back in, everything were okay. And I decided to make a video, like I do. So I made this video, and I went down Oak Line at traffic. You know how they were parked. And then I'm chatting to you like this now, going, well, you know, I actually parked. Let's have a look. It's quite a big lump. Right, so blonde Carabao. So, you know, I actually made this video chatting about, you know, about it being parked. My bike being parked. And how people actually park the bikes or the cars. And she's here, look. Hello! She's having a sniff. No, you can't lick that. So, like I said, they're quite friendly, little Carabaos. And, I mean, she's quite a big lump. If she run into me, she'd probably knock me flying. Because they are strong. So, this guy in this 4-wheel drive, in this old Land Cruiser, I walked in cafe, I walked back into Jollibee, sat down and starting to eat. And he walked in and I was there with Jovelyn. Like I said, I didn't like that place whatsoever. I didn't even want to be there. There was just a nasty aura feeling about this place. He said, have you got a problem? And I says, no, I ain't got a problem, have you? And he says, I've just seen you taking a video. I says, I'm a YouTuber. If I want to take a video, I'll take a video, you know. And that's what I said to him. And he set off and he went, oh, okay. He says, if you don't delete that video, I'm phoning police. I says, phone him. So then he went outside, and now there's an audience outside, and hello there, what are you doing? So now he's got this audience outside, and he's chatting to this audience, You know, about 4 or 5 on them, tricycle drivers, security, and 1 or 2 others. And I thought, and Joveline walks outside, and then Joveline's chatting to this guy and all this group. And I said to her, and I got up, and I thought, what's she doing? And I looked at my bike, see if my bike were okay. Then I thought, what's she doing there? You know, her food's here and it's going cold. So I got up and I went out and I said, Joveline, come on in here. Your food's here. And then I went back in and she still were out there. So I walked down to them all. I says, your food, come on, move. It's going cold. And she came in and she told me basically, you know, what he was saying, this guy, is, oh, English, England. I went to England once, I went to London, and I had to pay for parking, and then he started to slag England off and said what a bad place England was. And then I said to him, England's more advanced than this place. England's an advanced place, yes, you have to pay for parking, and you will do in the Philippines in the future. And he started to say a lot of bad things about England, this guy. And now he's got this audience. I said, come on in. And we just sat there and we had something to eat, and I could see him. And that's what he was basically doing, pulling England down. What a bad place it is, and you have to pay to park your car, you have to pay to do this, and you have to pay insurance, you have to pay tax and test, and yeah, of course you have to do. There's a reason why we have to do that. We have to do that as well, not just you Filipinos. Us English guys and girls have to do that, right? So it's as simple as that. If you don't like England, don't go to England, you know. And that was it. He's outside and he's got all this audience and he's chatting, and he came in and he says, I'm a big businessman. So he came in and he's chatting, and he's not really chatting, he's a big guy, he's twice my size, he's a big guy, and I think that was his problem, he was a big bully. And what did he say? So it's a big lump,